10, how are you? Hopefully you've had a nice half term. Now, before we went on our break, I don't know if you remember, but we were doing a module all about disease and immunity. And so far we have discussed the 3 different types of microbes, which was fungi, viruses and bacteria. Oh, actually 4, protoctists as well. Do you remember malaria? We've looked at how the body stops microbes from actually entering it, such as mucus in the lungs and skin and forming scabs and antibiotics in your tears, that sort of thing. And we will also have looked at how we pass on infection, such as dirty drinking water, not cooking your food properly, air particles, not washing your hands after the toilet, that sort of thing. So what we're going to look at now is how the body kills microbes if they get into the system. And to put that into context, you only need 1 bacteria or 1 virus or 1 fungi to enter the body. And I just want you to have a little think. I'm sure I've told you this before, but how long do you think it takes for 1 bacteria to become a million? Imagine you've eaten a bit of rotten chicken and 1 bacteria has managed to survive the acid in your stomach and has been absorbed through your small intestine into your blood. How long will it take for 1 bacteria to become a million? Well, I'll give you a little clue, and that is that for 1 bacteria to become 2 bacteria, it takes 20 minutes. So after 40 minutes, it becomes 4. And after an hour, it becomes 8. Well, believe it or not, and you can do this yourselves with a calculator, it takes 1 bacteria 6 hours and 40 minutes to become a million. That's amazing, isn't it? So you can see how, especially with COVID-19 at the moment, if you inhale 1 bacteria from somebody who's just coughed within 2 meters of you, well, in 6 hours and 40 minutes, you've got COVID-19, a million COVID-19 bacteria inside your lungs. So that kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? But all is not lost. We have got our white blood cells that are going to help us combat this nasty bacteria or this nasty virus. So, white blood cells. Your white blood cells make up your immune system. All right, so there are 2 different types of white blood cell that you need to learn for your exam. So 2 types of white blood cell. All right, so that's your immune system. So when somebody talks about your immune system, they are talking about the white blood cells in your blood. All right, so the first type that you need to learn about is phagocytes. All right, phagocytes, they're a little bit like Pac-Men, nom nom nom. All right, they literally eat the bacteria, the viruses, the nasty microbes. Okay, nice and easy, phagocytes. And they do that through something called phagocytosis. Don't worry, we'll look at that in more detail in a minute. The second type of white blood cell that you need to know about is leukocytes. Now, remember, if you have cancer of the blood, you have leukemia. That's because you have cancer of these white blood cells. And as you can imagine, if you've got cancer of the white blood cells, then your immune system is going to be shot to pieces, and it makes you very susceptible to picking up everything else. So if you have leukemia, for instance, if you've got COVID-19, that would be disastrous because you do not have leukocytes to protect you. Now, leukocytes don't eat the bacteria and the nasty microbes. What they do, first of all, is they can produce antibodies. Okay, and they help to kill the microbes, and then they stay around in your body forever, so that if you were to get the same disease again, these would be ready to fight it before you got any symptoms, which is why we say that you can't get things like chickenpox twice, because you have the chickenpox antibodies in your blood, and they'll attack any chickenpox microbe that enters you before you even get a spot again. All right, so they produce antibodies, and the other thing they do is they produce something called antitoxins. So antitoxins, think about if you got a snake bite and you got rushed to hospital, they would give you anti-venom, wouldn't they? Anti-venom combats the venom, stops the venom from working. So antitoxins is going to combat the toxins and stop the toxins from working. These toxins are basically the nasty microbes weeing and pooing, excreting nasty waste matter into your blood, and that's what makes you feel so poorly. So if we can stop those toxins from being so poisonous by using antitoxins, then that's going to stop us from getting those awful symptoms. All right, so I'm going to stop the video here because I'm going to make you look at phagocytosis in a little bit more detail now. All right, so 2 types of white blood cell, phagocytes, leukocytes. All right, so let's stop this video and I'm going to start another one showing you phagocytosis in a lot more detail. All right then, bye everyone.